Roman numeral 3, consumption. The condition. Position. Everybody that lives eats food and is food in turn. This complicated animal, the human being, rests on a vast and delicate pyramid of energy transformation. To grossly use more than you need, to destroy, is biologically unsound. Much of the production and consumption of modern society is not necessary or conducive to spiritual and cultural growth, let alone survival, and is behind much greed and envy, age-old causes of social and international discord. Situation. Humanity's careless use of resources and its total dependence on certain substances such as fossil fuels, parenthesis, which are being exhausted slowly but certainly, end parenthesis, are having harmful effects on all the other members of the life network. The complexity of modern technology renders whole populations vulnerable to the deadly consequence of the loss of any one key resource. Instead of independence, we have overdependence on life-giving substances such as water, which we squander. Many species of animals and birds have become extinct in the service of fashion fads, or fertilizer, or industrial oil. The soil is being used up. In fact, humanity has become a locust-like blight on the planet that will leave a bare cupboard for its own children, all the while living in a kind of addict's dream of affluence, comfort, eternal progress, using the great achievements of science to produce software and swill. Goal. Balance, harmony, humility, growth that is mutual growth with redwood and quail, to be a good member of the great community of living creatures. True affluence is not needing anything. Action. Social political. It must be demonstrated ceaselessly that a continually growing economy is no longer healthy, but a cancer, and that the criminal waste that is allowed in the name of competition, especially that ultimate in wasteful, needless competition, hot wars and cold wars with communism or capitalism, must be halted totally with ferocious energy and decision. Economics must be seen as a small sub-branch of ecology, and production, distribution, consumption, handled by companies or unions or cooperatives with the same elegance and spareness one sees in nature. Soil banks, open spaces, logging to be truly based on sustained yield. Parenthesis, the U.S. Forest Service is, sadly, now the lackey of business. Protection for all scarce predators and varmints. Support your right to arm bears. Damn the International Whaling Commission, which is selling out the last of our precious wise whales. Ban absolutely all further development of roads and concessions in national parks and wilderness areas. Build auto campgrounds in the least desirable areas. Initiate consumer boycotts of dishonest and unnecessary products. Establish co-ops. Politically, blast both communist and capitalist myths of progress and all crude notions of conquering or controlling nature. The community. Sharing and creating. The inherent aptness of communal life where large tools are owned jointly and used efficiently. The power of renunciation. If enough Americans refuse to buy a new car for one given year, it would permanently alter the American economy. Recycling clothes and equipment. Support handicrafts, gardening, home skills, midwifery, herbs, all the things that can make us independent, beautiful, and whole. Learn to break the habit of acquiring unnecessary possessions, a monkey on everybody's back, but avoid a self-abnegating, anti-joyous self-righteousness. Simplicity is light, carefree, neat, and loving, not a self-punishing ascetic trip. The great Chinese poet Du Fu said, "The ideas of a poet should be noble and simple." Don't shoot a deer if you don't know how to use all the meat and preserve that which you can't eat. To tan the hide and use the leather, to use it all with gratitude, right down to the sinew and hooves. Simplicity and mindfulness in diet are the starting point for many people. Our own heads. It is hard to even begin to gauge how such a complication of possessions, the notions of my and mine, stand between us and a true, clear, liberated way of seeing the world. To live lightly on the earth, to be aware and alive, to be free of egotism, to be in contact with plants and animals, starts with simple, concrete acts. The inner principle is the insight that we are interdependent energy fields of great potential, wisdom, and compassion, expressed in each person as a superb mind, a handsome and complex body, and the almost magical capacity of language. To these potentials and capacities, owning things can add nothing of authenticity. Quote, clad in the sky with the earth for a pillow, end quote.